Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back to my channel and to Roxy's Weekly Challenge week 29, I think. I can't quite remember, I think it's week 29, but anyway, if it's not, it'll be in the title. And today we're making paper bags. And I was really excited when I saw this come up because I've never made them before. In fact, I don't know if I've ever actually put a paper bag in one of my journals. It's just I'm never sure how to use them, although I do have a load. I keep saving them and then never using them. But I thought if I made some with some pretty papers, maybe I would use them more. I don't really have the sort of papers that Rachel was using in her video, but that's fine. We can always do things our own way for these challenges, can't we? So I'm going to use some digitals that I think I'm more likely to use in my journals. The top one being a case in point. This is a really beautiful autumnal page. So I want to make one, of course, for an autumn journal, which may be coming up sometime in the near future. Who knows? I am planning to start one, just haven't quite decided how I'm going to do it yet. Right, so let's make a start. I want to try and do a few. I'm not going to do as many as Rachel, of course. I never managed to do as many as her, but I'm going to do a few. I pulled out loads of papers that I thought might work, and then I've had to cull them down because I thought that's way too ambitious. So I've got about 5 or 6 papers here, and I think that's plenty. In fact, it was quite difficult to choose because in the end, I had quite a few I would like to have used. But I really want to use this one. I have made a prototype just so I could figure out how to make it, make sure I knew what I was doing. And I thought it came up a bit big. I'll try and remember to show you at the end how it turned out. But it looked quite big in the end, so I'm going to try not to make them too large. And I want this to be my central image. So I'm going to try and fold it so that is front and central. Try and fold straight as well, which is always a challenge. And then, if I can do it about there. I don't know if that's... I'm just going to make it so that it's kind of a bit smaller. I think the last one ended up at 5 inches, and I think that was too much, too big. So I think I'm going to do mine about there. And well, that's fine. That overlaps, and I would like to just have that on the side, so that's fine. And then I've got to turn over the bottom to seal the bottom. So just fold that up. I've got my bone folder here just to make sure my creases are nice and sharp. And then I'm going to move on. So I'm going to do my my preparations first. So I think that's going to turn out fine, like that. Now I did find this one, which is a bit more in keeping with the sort of thing Rachel was using, but I did think that if I made this as one whole paper bag, I'm going to have a big blank space in the middle, which is fine if you want to decorate, but I'd quite like to, I don't want to lose all this prettiness top and bottom, so I'm going to actually do this one into two smaller ones, or I may not do the second one. I really like this top bit. That would make quite a nice paper bag on its own. So I'm going to tear that down. Let's have a look at this one, see how that would look. That might be okay as well, although a lot of the nice decorative bits are going to be around the side again, so I don't know about that one. We'll see. I'm going to put that to one side because I have a feeling that I might not want to use that in the end. So I'm going to fold that in. Just check it's about central. Yeah. And that side. Okay, that looks fine. So I've got a few a few bits where it's not quite straight somewhere, so I'm just going to trim those, not a problem. And got a little tail hanging down here, I don't know how that got there, must be the way I tore it. And then I'm just going to fold this up at the bottom. Okay, I like that. And then that's that one ready for the next stage. And if you've watched her videos, you know how this is going to go. She did it in stages, so I do want some of that pretty flower to be on show. So I'm just going to turn it this way, fold it in about there. Yeah, and I fold that to there. How's that going to be? It's too big. I want to fold it in. I want mine to be about 4 inches, I think. I think that's big enough on a paper bag. 4.5 would be fine, but 5 I think is too big. So that's a better, I think that's a better width. So I just need to trim it down a little bit. So I'm just going to grab my trimmer. Much as I like this, I can't keep it all. So I'm going to have to trim a bit off, make sure that's going to overlap a bit. Okay, that should do it. Let's just hope I haven't trimmed up too much off. Nope, that looks fine. Put to one side in case I need it again. And then I'm going to turn it up at the bottom. And yeah, we're going to come back and do a bit of cutting in a minute. I don't know whether she did that all in one go, but I will just do it my way. So this one is a smaller piece that is a scrap that I happen to have. So I think just try and, so it's not really a big deal as to what's on show, because it's a bit more neutral. So as long as this overlaps a bit, because it's going to be a smaller one. And it's going to be a narrower one, I think, fairly tall. Okay, that's that one. And I've got one more. Now this is a smaller piece. I've had this for a long time. I think this is printed on some actually really thin copy paper. I'm not sure this is a great one to use, but I'm going to give it a go. This is actually a masterboard I did years ago before I started doing videos. When I was first watching videos on how to do junk journaling, and I watched somebody doing this kind of collage. It's a very, very detailed, very fussy collage. And this was my attempt. I did two or three of these, and then I scanned them and had them in my folder, and printed a few off. And I've never used them. I never remembered to use them, so I thought I'd try using this for this project. But I think I must have been getting very thin copy paper in those days, probably cheap Tesco's copy paper, because the copy paper I've got now is a bit thicker, a little bit more substantial. So yeah, I just thought I'd give this a try, because I had it in one of my folders in my stash. Because what I've tried to do is not print off any papers specially for this, because in my usual fashion, it's coming towards the end of the month, and I've nearly run out of my my subscription allowance again. That's what happened last month. So I can't really print very much. But I had I just went through my folders and picked out some papers that I already had printed off. So that's going to look quite nice, I think, to use, rather than printing off new ones. It's a pretty good thing I did, actually, because I only had a few left anyway. I'd figured out for the rest of this week until the 1st of August. Well, the new subscription starts for me on the 2nd of August. I just had a few left, so I thought, well, I won't use them in case I need them another time for something else that I need to do. And then my daughter came over and she wanted me to print off her birth plan, because that's not far off now. She's less than 10 weeks away, less than 10 weeks away. And she's done her birth plan, and she wanted me to print it off so she could have a look at it and go through and make some changes. Well, I thought it was only a couple of pages, but it was 9 pages. So it hasn't left me a lot left in my subscription. I haven't gone over yet, but I'm not far off, so I'm going to have to be really careful this week not to print anything. Right, I'm going to start doing a bit of this, trimming the flaps. So I shall probably, at this point, I shall now speed up the video so you don't have to watch me doing this in slow time. Okay, so all my little flaps are cut now, so we can just do that. Some of them just will need a little trim by the looks of it. Okay, get that off. Right, the next thing to do is the paper bag thing at the top. So you've seen me do it, quite something a little bit different, not seen done before. So it's a case of just one bigger fold. And then a second fold, the fold's just above, comes just above the first fold. And then you've got a little space in between, and then you just snip up between the two sides. And you just trim this a little bit and trim that a little bit. Okay, that's that one. Now let's have a look at this one. Now I think with this one I'm not going to do that because we're going to lose this pretty bit at the top here. So I'm just going to leave that one as it is. Okay, this one will be okay. Give it a decent fold. And then we have to give it a second fold. Make sure it overlaps the first fold. Okay. Oh, and the snip. Snippity snip. And snip up the middle there. That to one side. The exciting part was when you start to glue it and it all starts to come together. Let's see what that's going to be like. No, that's fine. Can do that one. Always fold it just so that you get a bit of overlap. But for the second fold over the first, snip up each side in between and just cut the little notch here so that it doesn't interfere with the fold. And the last one, gosh, it's going a little quicker than I expected. I have to admit. Maybe I'll make a couple more. And this one, yeah, that'll be fine. I shall turn that up. And then fold again. And snip. Snip. Right. And that's that one. Now I think what we have to glue first, yeah, we have to glue these down first, I think, and then we glue them shut. Yes. Right, let's do that. A piece of book page, glue this flap down. So you glue it in for the furthest in fold, if you like, the biggest fold, and then you just glue in the little flap for this one. If you haven't watched Rachel's video, which seems unlikely because most people have been watching these, you probably wonder what on earth is going on. But all will become clear when it's all put together. Just a little bit of glue being missed here. Glue that in. Right. Then I'm just going to finish these now. I'm going to fold that one that way. That's it. Okay, I will glue along this edge and use the wet glue, in my case art glitter glue, for this, the edge of this flap. So they're all going to turn out quite different, I think, because of the different types of papers I've been using. They will all have quite a different feel to them, I think. Some of them will probably work in lots of different journals, and others will perhaps be more specific to certain journals. I don't know. I really don't know. Not quite sure where I'll use them, but I'd really like to, because I think they're quite really fun. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look, see how it's turned out. There we are. Oh yes. One or two little finishing touches still required. Just did a little snip across the diagonal there. And then she did, when they've dried, cut along the edge there to give it that jaggedy edge. And there we are. That's the little paper bag. I think that looks really pretty. Really like that. Use that for all sorts of things, couldn't you? And that's ended up, what size has this ended up? This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 3/4 this one. So it's still quite wide. So that's okay. They're usable because I suppose most pages are about 5 1/2. So this one's going to be a narrower one. So let's do this, do the gluing of this one now. Put it all together. These two little flaps. This one looks like it's overlapping a little bit too much. Not sure why, but let's see how it looks when it's folded up. I think there's just a little bit sticking out there, so I'm just going to trim that off. No problem. That way, that way, and that way. Yep. Glue stick on that edge because it doesn't have to be. Don't be so precise about it being narrow. And just a little bead of glue along here. Because they don't always overlap a huge amount, do they? This hasn't folded very straight. I might see if I can refold that because it's decidedly crooked. Oh well, too late now. It's glued. I'll just have to trim it afterwards. Really not, as either it was crooked in the first place before I even tried to fold it, or I folded it really crookedly. Look, that's not lying straight, so I'm going to just trim along here. So that when we glue down this bit, it will. Yeah, that's really not straight at all along there. So when I get the little jaggedy scissors out, I'll hopefully be able to straighten that up. That's really bad. It's more crooked than you could possibly imagine. Hopefully it'll sort itself out when I trim the edge. Look at that, terrible crooked. Trim that off a bit there, and there. Yeah, that's a real shame that that's so out of alignment, but I will just have to try and straighten it up with the my little funny scissors. Let's hope they'll work. They can be a little bit awkward to use. Right, next one. This is a really lovely one. This is, I think this paper is an Artie May's, one of her freebies, I believe. She's done a few freebies, I don't know how many. This was one I got quite a long time ago. One of the first kits I think I ever picked up. My eyes lit up when I saw freebie. Maybe the very first digital kit I saw, I don't know, that I downloaded. But I can't say, well, I have used bits of it over the years. I guess it's been possibly 4 years since I first started making things myself. It's coming up for 3 years since I've been on YouTube. Well, YouTube for junk journaling, not necessarily YouTube per se, because I did a couple of years scrapbooking as oh, wrong way. Oh, what was I thinking? Folded it too much. Ooh, you're not there. That was the wrong. Where was the fold? That's the question. That'll teach me, won't it? Not to concentrate on what I'm doing. Yeah, that's better. Hopefully I've got this in the same place. It looks about the same. Got it in about the right place because by the time I'd covered it in glue, the fold mark or the fold groove had almost disappeared. So I think that's about right. Let's just check if it's lined up. Yeah, certainly better than the last one anyway. Right, let's just, yeah, I think I'll do it that way. So, put some glue along this edge with the glue stick, and then along this edge with the hot glitter glue. It has a tendency to go a bit wonky as I join it and I've glued it, so I've just had to correct that a little as I've done it. So that's that, and then this last bit here, do go through a lot of glue pages because they get gluey very quickly. And then, where's my scissors? Going to be hiding. Let's just do this. Snip the corner. I've never got that one. Love that. Isn't that nice? Really pretty. Right, now I'm going to glue the little one. But I haven't done it the paper bag top just because it would be a shame to lose that little bit at the top there. So I've got that, and this piece, or this bit of line of glue up here. Oop. Don't think I went over the edge. I nearly did. I'm just going to trim a little bit here where it's just poking out a little bit, and it's going to impede the bit I want to fold up. That's it. It's just a little bit sticking down. Right, so yeah, this is the one that's the most similar to the ones that Rachel was doing, and not surprisingly this is one of her papers. Can't remember where it came from though, which kit. And I think I will do a little snip at the top. Just a small one. This punch is getting a bit blunt. I did put some foil through it, but it's not very good at this single pieces of paper. And really, this isn't so very thin, this paper. And I think I'm going to have to just ink around the edges of this one, because I don't like the the white showing behind the snip. Right, so that's going in there. So that one's done. I like that. Okay, last one. Well, to be honest, I didn't think I'd get these all finished so quickly. Maybe I'll need to do a couple more. Right, so this one is going to be quite wide again, isn't it? Is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's quite a wide one. I'm actually wondering if I need to fold it in just a little bit more. I know it's going to mess up everything else, but I just don't really want it to be quite so wide. Oh, I think I'll leave it because it's just so pretty. I don't want to cut anything off. It'll be okay. I could do it as a flip out, so it doesn't have to sit on a page then. Okay, I'm just going to finish it off and be done with it. Okay, maybe I'll do 1 or 2 more, I don't know. But I do need to make them a bit smaller, I think, to be more comfortable with them. Right, so final one, glue the middle flap. I seem to miss that corner for some reason. Right, let's get this bit right. And this bit seems huge, this flap. Yeah, it's just because of the way I folded it. I think what I am going to do with this one, because I know it's going to be one I will try and use in my autumn journal, I do want to ink this bit because it'd be easier to ink it now than after it's been glued. Okay, rest can be done as and when. And now I have really got to trim this edge here because it's a bit white. Along the edge there's a bit of white showing. So I'm just going to trim that a little. Right. And that's the top flap, so that's going to be, use the glue stick for that. And the arc glitter glue for this bit. The kit I've got this from, it's a really pretty kit. It's still got a bit of, is that white? A bit of white on showing there. It's called La Perche or La Perche, not sure, not quite sure. Can't quite remember what it means, but it's obviously French. But it's by Janie B Journals. It's a lovely kit and all these gorgeous autumnal colours. Yeah, that's not very straight again like the other one, so I will have to sort that out with my little scissors. But I'm going to be on the lookout for another autumn kit. I like to mix a few kits so it's not all too samey. I like to put two or three different digitals in my kits. Not my kits, what am I talking about? In my journals. I always struggle to talk and to craft at the same time. So that's that one. Again, it's quite a big one. It's 5 inches. Just going to take up a lot of the page, but I think it will be fine if I use it as a flipper, and that will be fine. You know, it'd be quite nice to have that, be able to see that, and it's so pretty on the back. So that's that one. I think I will just try and finish these off now. I think time's getting on, and I don't really want to start a new one. I'm going to see if I can trim these now. This is the one I made as my prototype. We'll see how big this one is again. I think this is a Shabby Dabby Doodah paper, but I can't remember where it's from. There. I forgot to do that bit. I think I've got to do that on this one as well, didn't I? There we are. Put that at the bottom so that it gives it a bit more chance to dry before I have to do the snipping. Let's see what scissors I've got around. These going to be good? No, not those. I have a little selection. very, very jolly colours. That's what I'm trying to say. Jolly colours. Got these ones. I think these might be alright. I have used these before. They're not the easiest things to use. But they probably work better as it's doubled over. The paper's doubled over. It works better on thicker paper, I think. She says it's not happy. Let's get rid of these bits. Try again. Just cut these bits off. They're in the way. It's not dry enough. I may have to give that a miss for the moment, because these do not work very well for me. I know Rachel's using pretty much the same sort of things and she manages to make them work fine, but of course I don't. If I'd done this at the beginning, I would have not continued with it, because I've got halfway across now. Don't know if I can do it from the other side. It's a bit mangled in the middle, but almost there. Okay. Oh. See if I can just tidy that little bit up. Well, it doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too great either, but okay. Don't know if I dare try doing one of the others. I wonder if I've got another pair that might work, but just have a similar effect. That one maybe. Well, It's not going to have the same jaggedy top, that's the thing. Not that one. Maybe I'll try a smaller one. And then I might just do a bit of decorating and do this afterwards off camera when they've dried a bit more. Nope, this wasn't a good idea. Yeah, I'm going to leave that and do it later. Maybe they just need to dry a bit more. So yeah, not doing that. Let's do a little bit of decorating on the ones that look like they might need it. So I'm not sure how much this one would need. Oh, this is the back anyway. Yeah, so I could put a little something here. And what she was doing was little fabric swatches, which is rather nice. I like doing that sort of thing. So let's see what we can find. A little bag of fabric scraps here. How would that piece look? So I'm filming this on a Sunday, and tomorrow I've been looking forward to tomorrow for months. Tomorrow was a bit of a highlight in my calendar because I signed up for this course probably in March. Well, that's been really ripped there, so I might just rip that off. Or cut it off. Yeah, I signed up for this course in March. It's called a Creative Dragonfly workshop, and it's a mixed media workshop. And I thought, well, that sounds like fun. Richard spotted it. I think it was on Facebook or something. It was being advertised in the local college. And I think it was back in March. And I thought, oh, that'd be great. That'd be something to look forward to. So I signed up to do it. And then I got an email during the week, last week, that they had to cancel it. Oh, I'm so gutted. So, yeah, not going on my Creative Dragonfly course now, which I'm really, really sad about because I was so looking forward to it. Just something different. I've never done anything like that before. And they'd given us a list of recommended items to take along, some of which I'd gone and bought because I didn't have them. So now I've got a few things that I'm probably don't know whether I'm going to find a use for now. So I'm a bit gutted about that. I didn't spend a lot, fortunately. I had quite a few of the things that they mentioned I already had. But there was just a couple of things I thought, well, I might as well try and get everything that they've mentioned, that they recommend that you take. I think this one's just a little bit long. I'm going to trim that a little bit at the top. Glue that. Glue this on top of it. There we are. And then we staple it in. Simple as that. How lovely. Hang on, what's going on here? Something glued itself together, is it? That wouldn't surprise me. No, that's too thick. Something's got glued. That's it. Let's get my bone folder in. Yeah, I think it's where the glue must have squeezed out from the sides when I glued the back together. Glued the pocket shut. Well, never mind, managed to just about rescue it. Don't think it looks too bad on the inside. Right. Let's just pop this in here. Stapled it. There we are. I might just glue this down a little bit because flapping a bit. Just a little. I prefer it if it lies a bit flatter. There we are. Just a little bit. Don't think it needs anything else because it's already got some prettiness on there, and I don't think they will all need decorating. So that one, and I've got to finish doing across there. But I think it needs to dry a bit more before that's going to work. This one definitely needs something. Okay, so what kind of fabric-y bits can I use on there? Whole bag full of scraps here. No, that's possible. Not sure about that one. Ooh, I think this one might be better. Maybe a bit of this. Quite like that. What can I put with it? Can I use a bit more of this? Perhaps a smaller bit. Just a little scrap. I think it looks like it's quite vintage, this lace. It's just been flipping about on my desk. Well, not necessarily on my desk all the time. In my little tray, basket with my laces. But it's going to be easy to have it on something, isn't it? There we are. Staple it. Actually, I might just do it a bit more like that. And I think we need a little something down here. Label maybe, or I'm not sure. I've got some washi tape, faux washi really, that I've made in the past. I wonder if it's sitting there in this pot, waiting to be used, and I never think to use it. Oh, I wonder if that would go on there. I hadn't even thought about using this, but maybe I will. That way up. Put that on there. Yeah, I quite like that, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to use I think I'll use the Fabri-Tac because I don't know how well this will glue. Right, can pop that on there. No idea what possessed me to use this, but I just saw it there in my pot. I thought, oh, let's give that a try. Why not? Actually, I could do quite like that, just for something different. There we are, my little paper bag. I like that one actually. I might do some more smaller ones. I think I'm more likely to use these ones than maybe the bigger ones. So yeah, so this is also from the La Perche kit, and I really love this one, but I'm not sure yet how I'm going to decorate it, and I think time is getting away. So I need to think about that. I need this to dry so I can straighten it up with my scissors. And I'm not sure whether there's any others that will need decorating really. Maybe a little bit of something. Yeah, I can do that another time, or when I'm working on the journal even. So I think I'm going to leave that for today. So the ones we've got finished, well, apart from finishing that across there, it's all a bit disastrous, is these two with their little fabric swatches, which I really like those. So I'm going to probably do something like that on at least this one, and probably this one. Yeah, almost all of them in fact, and this one. I'm going to find something to go on these. It's just that those two are just a little bit bigger than I'm comfortable with really, but it is what it is, and I'm sure I'll find a way to use them. But these ones I'm happier with because they're that little bit smaller. Right, so there we are, all our little paper bags. Roxy's Weekly Challenge, week 29, possibly. Yeah, I think it's week 29. Paper bags. So there we are, all done. Thank you for joining me for this one, and do join me again soon. Bye for now.